Hey guys, this is Ash and you're watching WriterGAsh. So, happy Halloween everyone. This is my flapper costume for my Halloween. And I want to know what you guys are dressing up as for Halloween this year. Halloween is one of my favorite days of the year and I love dressing up. Growing up, always watching people celebrate Halloween on TV made me want to do it. And I remember ever since my first Halloween, which by the way I celebrated when I was 13, I've been gaga about Halloween. And this year I decided to go all out with like a full flapper dress and full costume. But without further ado, let's talk about some of the books I read this month. So the first book I read this month was Isn't It Romantic by Lisa K. Adams. I just love the way this book is written, and it kind of dismantles the entire our preconceptions about love stories, because this one specifically, the protagonist is writing his own romance novel while we're reading this, and it's just really interesting how they address it, how like formulaic romance novels are, and I love how kind of the characters analyze that and kind of dismantle this whole thing that we love. And it's just a really fun book. On top of that, there is mystery, there is intrigue, and there is, of course, a really beautiful romance to go with it all. The next book I read was an arc I got about For All the Fields by Olivia Dade, which I believe came out this month, and it was a fantastic book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did think I wouldn't like it when I first started reading it because the male protagonist comes off as a complete and utter douchebag. But like any other book, he kind of redeems himself, and it's a beautiful story. And then I went to read, spoiler alert, and realized that these two books are parallel to each other. They're happening at the exact same time, and these two male protagonists are best friends, and that is how their story kind of goes. And it's just fun seeing the other person's story through through their friends' eyes as well as their own stories, and it's just a fun book. So for sure read Spoiler Alert and All the Fields by Olivia Dade. The next book was another arc, which is The Lucky One by Laura Jean Williams. I did like the book, but it definitely wasn't as good as some of the other books I read this month. It was about this woman who gets left at the altar, and she just decides to take control of her life from there on, and it is a fun book, I will say that, but let's just say I was dying to get to the next book on my TBR while I was reading it. But again, definitely give it a shot, and it's about like her reconnecting with her childhood friend and them going on this wild adventure together in Australia, because she takes him on her honeymoon now that her fiance has jilted her. The next and final book I read this month was Once Upon a Broken Heart. I know this book came out in September, and I had initially intended to read it in September, but I didn't get it till the very end of the month. And then by then I had to read some of my arcs, so I couldn't get to it until now. But oof, definitely worth the wait. And I am really pissed at Stephanie Garber right now because the next book is not going to be out for a while. And this was so good, and it just left me wanting more. I can't wait to see Jax on paper again. I think I like Jax a lot more in this book. And it's going to be interesting to see him again when we get the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart. I wonder if it'll be a trilogy like last time. Whatever it is, I am excited for it, and I just can't wait for Stephanie Garber to let us back into this magical world she has created. Anyway, so that is it for my wrap up for October. Hopefully I can reach my reading goal for the year, which is 75 books, and I'm like at 65. So it's like 10 more books, which is reasonable considering December is a holiday month, so I won't have school to worry about, so it'll be hopefully something I can achieve by December. Anyway, so that is it, and I will see you guys later and hope you guys have the most magical Halloween.